This is the second of two short videos created by the Law Library to help you find case law using our library resources. In this video, we will look at how to locate Australian and international cases and how case citators can provide us with additional information about the cases that we find. So the first thing we will cover is where do we find cases. Some legal decisions are recorded and published in law reports. These are known as reported judgments or reported decisions. Reasons that law report publishers will select certain cases to include in their law reports is that a case may raise a significant point of law, introduce a new principle of law, define or interpret legislation or legal terms in a way that is particularly instructive. You can find Australian reported judgments in the following databases at the library. Each jurisdiction also has an official set of law reports. These are called authorised reports. The judgments published in authorised law reports are checked by a judge or judge's associate prior to publication. Whether you're citing your cases in an assignment or using them in court, it is important to always use an authorised judgment where possible. While reported cases are generally more instructive and therefore a preferable place to locate case law, you can also locate decisions that have not been published in any law report series. These are referred to as unreported judgments. It may be that they are unreported because they are very recent, or they may not raise a significant point of law generally, but may still be relevant to your legal research. Places that you can locate unreported decisions or cases include the court websites, and also Ostley and Barnett Jade are freely available online. And if you go into our library website, you can also get access to Lexis Advance and Westlaw AU for unreported decisions. So just to quickly summarise the new terminology, we ask firstly, is it in a law report? If it's not, then we would use an unreported judgment, and we can find those either from the court website or from one of the databases available to us. If our cases are in law reports, we just do need to check, are they in an authorised law report? And if they are, we would have to use that authorised version of the judgment. And if not, we could then use the reported judgment, not necessarily an authorised law report series. So this kind of gives us a hierarchy of which citation we would use when we're doing our assignments or going to court. So I'm going to show you how to search in our library databases for cases. And the first way you might search is you might be searching by topic. So the way that we search by topic, we can put together a search phrase. So there might be, for example, two phrases that you're wanting to search: corporations and bankruptcy, and you're wanting to find cases that cover those. So the first thing to note is that you would want to put them together with an and, so bankruptcy and corporation or corporations. And that's because you would otherwise get cases that have all cases that mention bankruptcy and all cases that mention corporations, and that would be too many search results for you. The other thing you might want to do is think about synonyms for your search terms. So synonyms could include, for bankruptcy, could include bankrupt or insolvent. And it may be that a case is talking about the topic that you're interested in, but using a different phrase. So it is useful to think of as many synonyms as you can. And then the way that you put together your search phrase is you group together your synonyms in parentheses. So you would say corporations and then in parentheses, bankrupt or bankruptcy or insolvent. And so what this will do is we'll search corporations and bankrupt, corporation and bankruptcy, corporation and insolvent. So let's just do an example of that. So from the University of Tasmania homepage, you would go to the library page, and from the library page you can select the database if you know which database, and I've given you those lists in the slides. Or alternatively, you may want to use one of our library subject guides. I'm going to show you how to use those. So in the library subject guides, we have a number of law subject guides. And here we're going to use the Legal Skills Research Guide. This research guide has collated a number of resources to help you with your legal research, and it's worthwhile to go through. There's a number of videos, some terminology, and also an online tutorial to help you test your skills. Under the tab, How Do I Find Case Law?, we have links to those databases. So for Australian case law, we're going to select Australian databases, and choosing one of these, it doesn't matter which one, you'll find that you might need to become more proficient with all of them. You can select Westlaw AU. So here we have Westlaw AU. You can put your search term in here, or your title of your journal article that you're looking for, or a citation for a case, just to be a little bit more, I guess, more directed. We're going to just search for cases, and we're going to put in our search terms here. So we've put in our connectors, corporation and bankrupt or bankruptcy or insolvent, and we're going to do a quick search of those. So here we have a significant number of search results, 5,956. That is a lot of cases to go through, so we're going to now refine our search results on the left-hand side. We can refine it in a number of ways, so we might want to limit it by jurisdiction and only look for decisions that are Commonwealth or Tasmanian. We might want to look for only recent decisions. Here we're going to use the classification that has been allocated to individual cases, and we're interested in bankruptcy cases. So we're going to limit our results to bankruptcy cases. And here we can either have them by most recent first. It also has the option to refine the search results by higher courts to lower courts, or most cited, so most cited by other cases. So then we would put in sequestration, refine our search, and that's limited our search further. So these are just some techniques that you can use. If you're not sure what search terms to use, or the search terms that you're using aren't working for you, there is another option that you can use. So if you go back to the home page, on the left-hand side is First Point, and here it gives you a list of digest terms they're referred to. So we're going to open that up. So we're interested in bankruptcy, and in particular, I don't know, administration of property during bankruptcy, and we can further look at options. So provision for creditor of debt, that might be super interesting for us. And what that will do, it'll bring all the cases that are grouped under that classification together for us. And so that may be 6 cases in this instance that may be of interest to you as another way to do a topic search. So in addition to searching by topic, we may already have a citation that we're looking for, and we can simply search using a citation. So using the example from video 1, we're going to search for this citation from the High Court of Australia. So again, we're going to go in through the library homepage, and the reason we might do this over Googling is particularly if we're off campus, it just ensures that we do get the paid library access. So going to our subject guides, then to our law subject guides, going to select our legal skills research guide, and how do I find case law. We can go to the databases here, but there is also a section on how do I find a case by citation, so that could also be useful to you. We're going to select, in this instance, the Lexis Advanced Pacific database, and hopefully that will have our case. So here in Lexis Advanced Pacific, you can see it shows my history, which I've done this search in the previous video, so that's coming up. You can also search particular publications, but we're going to put in our citation. Rather than searching for everything, we're going to limit our search. We could limit it by jurisdiction, but in this case we're just going to limit it to Australian cases and enter our search. And here we have our record at Wilson Jackson Lalick Lawyers. So this gives us links to our case. So this is the unreported version, and this is a reported version of our case. If we're going to select the reported version, we just need to select the hyperlink. That will now take us to the text of our case. Yep, that's the one that we want. And then we can download that document as a PDF. So this is a representation of how it appears in the Law Report series in print. So you have the correct page numbers. So that gives you a quick summary of how to use databases to search by citation and by topic. Searching for international cases can be quite similar. I'm going to show you a couple of those databases and how to search the print collection. So here are the databases that we have, and these are all included in the library subject guide. So the first case we're going to look up is this one from New Zealand. We have a citation, but we don't know what the abbreviation NZLR stands for, so we're going to first look that up and see if we can find our case by finding the law report. So in our library subject guide, I'm going to select law, legal skills research, and how do I find case law. Because we don't know what NZLR stands for yet, the first step is to look up that abbreviation. So here are some links to the abbreviations, and Cardiff's is very comprehensive, so that would be the first one I'm going to search. So I'm going to put NZLR and search for that, and it comes up as New Zealand Law Reports. So that's clearly the one that we want. Now the next step is to search for that in the catalogue. You can do a catalogue search, but that's just been linked here for your convenience in the library subject guide. So we're going to put in the New Zealand Law Reports and do a search of the library catalogue. And here we have a few results that relate to the law reports. So there's a digest and an index, but we're actually interested in the law reports themselves. And so what this shows us is that it's a book, as indicated by the icon here, and it is currently available in the law library. So if you haven't used the law library to find print law reports, do ask for a librarian for help. We're more than happy to show you where to find them and give you a hand. So the second case we're going to look up is one that's quite famous, and we're going to see if we can look that up just in one of the international legal databases. So this is just a second way to look up an international case. So Carlisle and the Carbolic Smokeball Factory, I'm going to see if we can find you in one of our databases. So returning to our lovely library subject guide, how do I find case law? So skipping over to the international databases, we've given a bit of a description of each one so that you don't go to a US one. We know that this is an English case, so we're going to go straight to one of the UK databases. So ICLR3 is a fabulous database, and you can do a full search, which is similar to an advanced search, and you can use full text search, catchwords. Here we have a citation already, so we're just going to put that straight in. And search that. So here we have a single result. There's two versions, and we're going to go to the one that matches our citation, and here we have the text of the case. If we are very excited, we're like, yes, this is the one. We're going to maybe find a PDF. I just want to show you the PDF. So this is a scanned copy of the law report, Queen's Bench Division, where it was originally reported, and you can see that it's a scanned copy. So that's two examples of how you'd find international cases. So you could use Cardiff's and find the meaning of the citation, or you could go straight into a database and search for the case by citation. As you would have noted, the New Zealand law reports aren't in any of the databases, so it is worthwhile checking our print collection, because we do have quite an extensive print collection. So we found our case or cases that we're really excited about, and we just want to check, have they been overruled by a higher court, or have they been appealed? Are they still good law? So the best way to check if a case is still good law, you can go quickly to what's called a case citator, and case citators give you lots of useful information about your case. So case citators are tools within databases. So within OSLI you have LawCite, within Lexis Advanced Pacific you have CaseBase, and Westlaw AU has FirstPoint. So I'm going to show you Lexis Advance, and we're going to have a look at CaseBase. So here we have our library subject guide, going again to our case law tab, and in here we have, how can I find a case by topic, by citation, where can I find more information about cases, and so this shows us what case citators we have access to. And we'll have a look at LawCite in OSLI first of all. So we're going to go back to our citation, and so we come back to our citation, and here we have a significant number of unreported decisions referring to our decision. So 2017, this case has been cited a number of times already, and also in 2016 by lower courts. It also gives you information about the legislation that has been cited, any articles that were discussed in our case, and linking to those where available. So it gives us a lot of information about that, as well as a citation index, which just gives us a sense of how much it's being looked at and considered. If we go to another case citator, we can get what's called signals and annotations, which is also quite helpful. So we're back in Westlaw AU, and that link has taken us directly to FirstPoint. So you'll remember that we can do in FirstPoint, we can do a subject search, but because we already have our citation, we're going to just put that straight in. Okay, and we've come back to our case. So clicking on our first point version, so there's two things. So the signal is, or symbol, sits next to the name of the parties, and this one looks like an H, and it indicates that the case has some litigation history, but it's not known to be negative history. So this gives us a sense that this case is not, it's still okay, it's doing okay, but we want to do a little bit more of an in-depth check. So we're going to also check the annotations. So annotation refers to notes on how subsequent cases have treated our case. So here's the litigation history of our case, and you'll see here the symbols, or signals as they're sometimes called. Our case is still neutral. It's clearly reversed earlier cases. And here are the cases that have applied our case. So here we've got, again, the High Court of Australia has applied our case, and it's been approved by that same decision, and it's also been considered and referred to. But you'll see that none of the other cases that cite our case have overruled it or reversed it and contradicted it in some way. So this is also a positive indication that we can refer to our case, and it is to some degree, to the best of our knowledge, it is good law. So this is also cases that our case cited but didn't follow or applied. So you have quite a bit of information in the case citator, and if you are finding cases, it's very worthwhile to have a look at the first point or the citator information about the case that you find. That's coming to the end of the video. We've looked at what is a reported case, a reported decision, what is an authorised decision or an unauthorised decision, and we know that we need the hierarchy of citations that we need to follow. So we need to cite our authorised decision. We wouldn't give all citations for each decision, we would just give the most appropriate one. We've looked at how to search for cases by topic or by citation, which is usually the information that we're starting out with, and we've looked at using the library catalogue to find print versions of our case or the databases to find online versions. And then we've also looked at how to check our cases to find more information about our case. And the citators are wonderful tools, and they'll be indispensable to you as you do your legal research. And hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions or need any help as you go through the course, don't hesitate to come down and have a chat. So we're located in Sandy Bay in the Law Building in the Law Library. If you can't make it in, just give us a call or send us an email, and the details are on this last slide. Well, we hope this has been helpful to you, and thank you for your time.